Hello and welcome to Straight Talk. I'm Ayşe Süberker. The UN Special Envoy to Libya, Abdoulayi Bathily, handed in his resignation last week after just 18 months at the job. Citing Libya's chaotic political situation, he is the third UN envoy to quit over the last 4 years. Bathily was particularly harsh on what he called Libya's self-centered politicians who have failed to hold elections originally set for 2021. Ongoing conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine have overshadowed the dire situation in Libya. Battling factions in the east and west have reached a dead end. Home to Africa's largest reserves of oil, the country's crucial cash lifeline has been frequently disrupted by clashes. During his last visit to Tripoli, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan stressed the importance of breaking the current impasse. Ankara's recent rapprochement with the Eastern government's main foreign backer, Egypt, raised hopes that the deadlock could be broken. But has the political stalemate deepened across Libya? And will the UN's next envoy be able to change anything? And now to discuss Libya's political future, joining me from Bursa, Turkey, is Ferhat Polat. He is a researcher at the University of Exeter in the UK. I'm from Lisbon. Barah Mikhail, he's an associate professor at St. Louis University. Gentlemen, welcome to Straight Talk. It's good to have you on the program. So, Barah, 2 weeks ago, UN's Libya envoy Bathily, after spending 18 months at the job, abruptly resigned from his post, citing a lack of political will and good faith on the part of Libyan leaders. So, is this really the case behind his resignation?
Well, as far as we know, and looking at Abdoulayi Bathily and what he's been doing while he's been the UN envoy in Libya, what we have seen is that he's been very active. He tried somehow to include a large part of the different political and social representatives that we have in Libya. But the truth is that, his statement is clear about it. What he was saying is that one of the reasons he's disappointed about is the fact that at the end of the day, what he noticed is that anybody or everybody is looking forward to defending their own, let's say, personal agendas and perspectives. So based on this, I think that, we can believe the reasons that Bathily has been putting forward. He's been definitely trying to do his best the way others before him, as UN envoys, have been trying to do before. But the fact is that when it comes to the reality of the Libyan different protagonists, I think that he's been one additional UN envoy that has been confirming the fact that it's really not easy to bring together all the points of view of the Libyans.
So Farhad, what does the political landscape in Libya look like now that there have been no UN supervision in the country? Is it likely to plunge into another political crisis?
I mean, the resignation of United Nations envoy is no surprise, and the process very much stuck in the past, and he was trying to bring rival sides together to have high-level talks, which he has not managed to bring all together. And of course, his resignation will leave like a diplomatic vacuum, and all the militias and their representatives, like political figures, will try to benefit from this political statement. And it is imperative to note that over the past few years, United Nations has been trying to facilitate a number of different political initiatives and political process, and most of the time they have prioritized election as a path towards stability, despite many warnings rushing into elections without addressing the root causes of instability, and as a recipe for disaster. And elections are not quick to fix any of those issues and remaining issues. And it will increase the maneuvering from different sides, especially from eastern sides, and like Khalifa Haftar, who controls east and south of Libya. This kind of political environment benefits those in charge.
So, Barah, UN envoy Bathily also accused international factions for meddling in Libya's internal affairs. Who are they, and how do these powers benefit from Libya's instability?
Yeah, I mean, Libya evolving through interferences has been a reality since 2011. There's no doubt about this. But I mean, if we look closer to us, not only 2014 and Operation Dignity, or 2016 and what happened around Sirte, but also what happened after the so-called war on Tripoli in 2019, we've seen that definitely there's been a concretization of the role of different actors, be it, I mean, it can be positive role or negative role. It depends. It definitely depends on where we stand from the issue and the agenda in Libya, let's say. But I think that the more problematic cases or points that Abdoulayi Bathily has in mind are more the ones that happen to be spoilers, trying to kind of delegitimize the government of national unity, the international recognized government. What I mean here that we know about the role of Russia, we know about the role of the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, that seems to be between the two, the East and the West, but at the same time still being closer to Khalifa Haftar, plus, of course, the role of paramilitary actors. There was Wagner before, there is Redoubt now, that are being used by Russia once again. So I mean that those actors are the ones that I think seem to be really what is the focus, let's say, of former UN envoy Abdoulayi Bathily.
Farhad, in addition to Barra's statements, there have been some reports that U.S. military contractors have agreed with the current Prime Minister Dabaiba to train various armed factions based in Tripoli. I mean, what's the U.S. strategy here, and does it aim to counter Russia's growing influence in the east of the country, along with Egypt and the United Arab Emirates?
United States played quite significant role in 2011 when they toppled Muammar Gaddafi, Libya's longtime ruler. And since then, United States has quite limited engagement when it comes to Libyan conflict, and always encourage European partners to take a larger role. But recently, as you have mentioned, and Russia's increasing presence in Libya, and it's concerning for the US and NATO countries, and especially AFRICOM is trying to monitor and trying to support the United Nations recognized government to have a standing army to break this foreign fighters to operate in the country. Especially Wagner has increased its presence since 2018 when Khalifa Haftar started attacking the Tripoli government. And since then, Russia has increased, and Libya became as a hub for Wagner activities, not only in Libya, also in Africa in general. So this is quite concern for the US and its foreign policy.
Yes. So, Barra, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan has said all parties should work to break the political impasse. So the question is, what options does Ankara have at hand to bring together the rival governments in the East and the West? And if it did so, could it solve this stalemate?
So, I mean, the truth is that when it comes to the stances that have been taken by Turkey, especially starting from the Tripoli War of 2019, obviously Turkey is backing the internationally recognized government, is backing it from a political point of view, from a military point of view too, but at the same time, there is this kind of economic approach that Turkey has towards Libya. And this economic approach, interestingly, has allowed Turkey also to open or pave the way to dealing also with the Libyan National Army, or with Khalifa Haftar, let's say. So based on this, I'm not sure that so far I see Turkey as trying to be a protagonist between the two. I mean, that's interesting. At the same time, Turkey opens up kind of channels to both sides. At the same time, it is clearly in favor of the internationally recognized government. But at the same time, I think it's letting not only the UN, but also countries such as Morocco, for example, to be the ones that try to pave the way towards having more discussions between protagonists. Why so? Because I think that Turkey sees that it is complicated to bring together all the points of view. And so Turkey, I think, does not want to bet on something that seems to be a lost game or a lost bet for the time being, at least.
So, Farhad, latest normalization efforts by Turkey with several Middle Eastern powers were seen as a key to solve especially Libya's political stalemate. Does it seem to you that it had worked out so far?
I mean, in terms of military engagement, at least since 2020, and since Turkey has involved in the Libyan conflict, prevented major armed conflict and reconciliation process between Turkey and other countries, including Egypt and UAE, already have positive impact on the ground, because Turkey and also Egypt, they are the most active and main backer of different rival sides, and Turkey supports internationally recognized government, and Egypt supports Khalifa Haftar and a House of Parliament. If these two countries, especially these two countries, when come to an agreement, which will have positive impact on the Libyan conflict. And Hakan Fidan's latest visit in Libya in February also signaled that Turkey is against any division between East and West and is willing to work with all sides. And also there is another sign: Turkey is trying to reopen its consulate in Benghazi, which was closed down in 2014 due to security concern.
Yes.
That international dynamics and regional dynamics always have positive impact if those countries agree on principles of holding elections and so on.
So, Barak, given all these, let's say, negative developments, what's next for Libya? I mean, how do you see the country's future?
I mean, remember that in 2021, everybody was betting on elections that should have happened on the 24th of December at that time. And the thing is that everybody was talking about elections, but there were even any logistics for it. That's one point. The other point is that the problem that Libya has is that when it comes to presidential perspectives, none of the potential candidates is in a capacity to have an absolute majority. And whoever takes the largest percentage of votes won't be recognized by all Libyans. So what are we in? We are in a situation where elections would not solve anything, where people want security, they want to eat, they want to be able to drive or to walk safely from one village to another, if not from one town to another. Those are the priorities. As for the rest, I think that it's up to Libyans to decide whether they want to head towards elections or to have another kind of formula like a federalization or whatever it could be. But unfortunately, elections won't solve anything.
All right, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave it here. Thank you very much for joining me on Straight Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.